This video is to give you a very brief overview of all of the resources that you've got available to you. So the ones which are particular for different types of projects will be covered in those types of projects videos. So the first one that you should be familiar with is the Scotch Library page. So this link will take you there to this page that looks like this. So we've got links into the Ligetwood Library catalogue that you can search. We've got videos on ClickView, so they will give you access to documentaries, and not just the ones which are on the Scotch server, but you can also search on ones which are in any school has put on there. We've got the journals, JSTOR and EBSCO host, so very useful if you are looking at something which is scientific or a social issue. You can find quite a lot in there. Explorer is another part of EBSCO, and that also gives you a bit more of a simple access into databases. Referencing, this is something which I'm going to cover in a separate video, which you'll all be familiar with, and you will all use this form of referencing. Britannica School, this may be useful as a start point just to get background information, but you certainly wouldn't use it as your main form of research. And then the State Library. So there's another link on the links to resources page to take you into the State Library, but this is an excellent resource. Choice is really good for researching products or comparing different things, so courses or appliances or designs or inventions. Libraries of SA link will get you into every library in South Australia, and if you find something in one library, you can have it moved to the library closest to you. The Australian Bureau of Statistics is excellent if you're trying to look at a social issue, so things like drug use or obesity or income in different rural areas, that kind of thing. Australasian Science, this is a magazine, so it has some degree of editing, but definitely not as reliable as your JSTOR and EBSCO host, which I said earlier. And then the newspapers that we've got the Australian and we've got the Advertiser. So you can search into their archives and find historical data, or you can find more recent topics. Time magazine, again, is obviously a magazine, so it is still a bit for entertainment, but it does cover some historical issues, social issues as well. The Conversation is good for those more controversial issues such as euthanasia or abortion or gender identity issues. So that can delve into some of the more controversial areas. Scootle, so that may give you some useful information, but again, it definitely wouldn't be one of your first resources. The Spinny Press, this one I'll just click on it because it does have some excellent links in there. So you can, if you're looking at something to do with Indigenous and race issues in Australia, then you can click in there and search around more specifically. So it's also got links into some of the more useful websites in those particular areas. Racial discrimination, for example, Office of the Anti-Discrimination Commissioner. So some excellent links in there. And then the National Archives, so this will give you more than 100 years of Australian records. So very good if you're looking at history. If you wanted to visit some exhibitions, etc., you can find them in there as well. And then the MOOC's Good Universities Guide. Again, this is giving you online courses. So if you wanted to do an online course in environmental studies, this might be something that you're looking at, climate change, then you can just click onto it, enroll in it, and then take it from there. And then finally, philosophy. If your topic is a more philosophical bent, then you can look in that magazine as well. Now, some of the universities and libraries have got programs set up specifically for research project. So the State Library, it's well worth taking advantage of this. You can book in to see a librarian and they will sit down with you and they'll go through these sorts of things, how and where to start researching your topic, how to use databases and the internet, how to even do referencing. So this is an excellent opportunity that I really encourage you to take advantage of. They're very willing to help. The Mortlock Library, I'll cover that in the history projects, but if you were searching for family tree or a South Australian event or an Australian event, then the Mortlock Library is excellent there. Also, Trove is an excellent resource for that. University of Adelaide, you can also sign up to research in their libraries. So year 11 and 12 students, you can borrow books if you go there. There is a cost for this though, $27.50, but their resources again are excellent and they're very willing to help you. Uni SA as well. This is a very good area if you wanted to find experts, contacting and interviewing an expert. So down here is where the links to those people are. So if you were looking at, for example, marketing, so you're looking at advertising, then you could contact the School of Marketing, the staff here. So it's well worth trying to contact as many people as you can. You never know who is going to help and what they're going to offer you. Another place to find your experts is here, SA Community Directory. I'll go through that in the contacting experts section. And then the other links we've got here are for particular projects, so links to health and wellbeing websites, digital magazines, very useful in some areas, Ancestry Online and Family History, again very good for looking at family trees. And then into the State Library, oops, little spelling error there. State Library of Victoria, even though it's not obviously in South Australia and you can't go there and borrow books, etc., they still have some really good resources. So if I just click on that, I'll show you what they've got. So they've got things like learning research skills, study skills, essay writing skills. All of that is going to be very useful for you. But then particularly history. This is an excellent resource for history. And then the National Library of Australia. So excellent link to e-resources. You can browse by category, and then this will take you to the freely available resources which are going to be the most useful for you. So you can search in any of these. So if you were interested in Indigenous studies, then that one might be a useful one. So unlimited area of resources there. Oops, I just got a message. And then Arts and Culture, British Library. So keep coming back to this page because things will be added onto there that will be useful to you. So don't just use Google is what we're saying here.